Greetings, I am Liz and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Yeah.
So you may have noticed that the screen is almost completely black. This game is called Monoliths. And it was for like a story jam thing. It's a short one again.
Yes.
And we don't know very much about it at all. It's supposed to be some kind of a journey.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, the game did not have sound or anything, so we put on some copyright-free music in the background.
We did.
All right, exist?
Yeah.
So just like spacebar or?
No, you have to click it.
Oh, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Your first choice is to exist.
You must choose to be existing.
No, but I kind of like that because a lot of people talk about being brought into the world involuntarily, you know?
That's true.
A pale moon illuminates a vacant sky. The winds carry an earthy scent. The boat below you rocks back and forth on a calm, dark ocean. A mass of rock breaks through the waves at the edge of the horizon. You start to row. You can go back and unexist. You start to row. The oars are cutting through the salty water. Your arms are tiring, but the island in the distance seems to grow farther and farther. Farther away, you continue rowing. I wonder if it is, I wonder if we get more than one choice at any point. The oars are cutting through the restless water. Your arms are tiring, but the island in the distance seems to grow farther and farther. You continue rowing. Oh no, is it a loop? And there's gotta be other buttons.
Nope.
Here we go.
You have to keep trying.
You just have to keep rowing because it's so far away. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The oars are cutting through the restless water. The boat passes through an opening in the rock into a small lagoon. The water here is still. You are almost there. The oars are cutting through the cold water. With a quiet thud, the boat hits the sand. Ow. You arrive. You gather your belongings before stepping off the boat. You open your bag, which has your compass, map, and journal in it. Are these buttons? They are. Are you okay with clicking them?
Why wouldn't I be?
I don't know, because last time you talked about how it might change the story.
What?
There was another text-based game that we played, and when you clicked on them, they turned into something else.
Oh, no, this one, since these are the only options here, this is like the other one with the duck game, with the witch and the duck.
Okay, let's do
This is literally to pick an option of which one you do. Yeah, you didn't.
I thought that was an expanded thing. It's okay.
No.
You open the compass. The needle rests uneasy, as if unsure of where north might be. You understand. What do I do? I understand.
It's okay, I get you, Compass. Compass. Having an existential crisis.
Compass, I see you. Oh. Alright, and then the map.
Okay.
Empty. Empty? How is it a map if it's empty? Not entirely. The bottom right corner reads 04 degrees, 14 north, 14 degrees, 50 east. Why? And journal in it. Notes of voyage. Photos. No memories. You wouldn't. At the bottom of your bag, you find your camera. Is it also having an existential crisis?
Everything having an existential crisis. You go,
a nice model. Highly adjustable focal length. A new leather band was delicately put around it for comfort. It is light. Fiddle? Step off. Oh, okay. Do you
choose to interact more with the camera?
Or do we get out of the boat?
Or do you get out of the boat?
You know what? I'm curious. I'm gonna fiddle with it. Click. Wait, you could do... Oh, you have to step off eventually. But you could have not fiddled first.
Maybe.
Or you can fiddle more.
You can fiddle more, I think.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it one more time just to see. Click. We have 2 pictures of almost nothing. 2 pictures of our thumb. One bad up the nose selfie.
Maybe. Honestly, I always love where people are like, how do you do this thing with the camera? Take off
the lens
cover. Please. I cannot tell you when I worked at Best Buy how many people were just like, this thing. You're like, I don't see anything. You have to take the lens cap off. Oh, right. You're like, You literally just bragged to me about how you know everything about cameras, and then you're like, I can't see anything.
And then you're like, this one doesn't work. I can't see through it. Oh my god.
Please.
Lens cap. Step off. A ravine opens up in front of the boat. The rocky cliffs at each side seem to reach for the sun above. Oh, it is sunny. I didn't realize it was sunny.
Neither did I.
The path snakes at an incline, leading further into the island. You start walking. The wind whistles through the ravine, creating soft harmonies that break and weave through the air. Overhangs throw shadow upon the path, accentuating the patches of dirt where no grass is growing. Finally, the ravine opens up.
Time to fall into the ravine.
Me, casually, I'm like, okay, so I'm just narrating my friend's journey through this because they are, the person that can move forward, because if I'm the narrator, clearly they're the character being told to.
Okay, here we go.
And I'm kind of giggling about it. Okay, so you're walking. Gentle walking. Oh. Upon a patch of sand, you can overlook some parts of the island. In the middle of the island, a pale blue lake reflects the sky above. To its left, the grass grows thicker and fades into a small forest. You can barely see the end of it before the leaves vanish into a thick mist. To the right, hills throw large shadows upon each other, forming a fascinating pattern of light and dark. Those are interesting things to focus on. I am curious about the pro tag.
Quite.
All right, I'm going to forest because that sounds amazing.
Sure.
Sand gives way to dirt. Then
I love the fact that you're implying that I am the character and you're the narrator, and the narrator is literally the one now controlling the story, just so you know.
Do you want to pick the options now that we know how it works?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I would love you to play.
Nope, go ahead.
On the other hand, if the narrator...
I was about to say, that is an interesting level of basically like meta. Of going, no, the character cannot, does their own thing. It's like, but because you're a character, you actually can't choose anything.
You're directed through all of it. It actually makes more sense for someone else to be the character and you to tell them what they're doing, because that's how stories work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how
writing works.
Because, they're puppets. They do whatever you want them to do. They don't actually...
They don't actually think on their own.
They don't actually do anything on their own either.
If you close the book, or you stop writing,
or you take off the glove, your puppet is now dead.
All right.
It do not exist.
Gives way to dirt, then tall, damp grass. The sun breaks through the trees, drawing intricate patterns on the ground below. The trees form a path further into the woods, obscured by thickening, verdant fog.
I think you choose to go further into the woods, or you try to be quiet as to not scare any animals. So you sort of stay where you are.
I think that's what that is either, as well. Honestly, the choices are in a different structure than I'm used to, but I totally just further into the woods.
Sure.
I'm not worried about scaring any animals because we haven't seen any. And we just decided to exist. I'm not going to have fear yet.
I do not have any fear.
Trees grow taller and thicker. The light fades, leaving a dim gloom to make out details. Mushrooms line the bark of some trees, and bushes force you to weave your way through the dark and cramped parts of the woods. One tree seems different. No animals in sight. You hear a slight trickling of water to your left. Light breaks through the mist up ahead. Ooh, do we investigate the tree? Well, if there's mushrooms there, we would go and look at them. I am a mushroom looker. Like, if I see them, I wander over to them and go,
you're like, please,
mushrooms.
morels for me.
In all ways. I'm just like, let me see the spores.
Now get some magic shrooms for me.
Right up in the trees, you can see a small spot of yellow. A fruit. Critic?
Citric.
Thank you. I'm like, what? My whole brain. Citric. It is a lime? No, a lemon. Neither of which are allowed in the TOS.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The trees grow taller and thicker. Oh, okay. So you looked at that one. That one's a citrus tree. And now, trickling of water or light. I'm gonna go for the water. There might be more mushrooms, and there could be cool fungus, like other types of fungus and moss.
Sure.
The trees open to a small pond, lined with reed. Wait. The trees open up to a small pond lined with reed. Is surrounded by trees and bushes. I think
there's a mistake.
There's a mild error there. So I think lined with reeds and is surrounded by trees and bushes. I'm gonna guess. Leaves float upon the surface, dancing and forming patterns. Take a picture. A small stream trickles down some rocks that line the hill. The lake water found its way down here. You know what? Let's do it. I want to take a picture.
Take a picture.
You look through the viewfinder and line up your shot. 2 leaves on the pond have caught onto each other, swirling around on the water in a small dance. Even though the trees throw shade at the pond, the leaves swim towards the few spots of light on the pond, where the water reflects the light as a glittering, warm sensation. Dappled sunlight.
Yes.
Click! Just as you take the shot, the leaves split and glide along the water. Ooh, a little faster than I expected. Surface aimlessly. The inside of the camera whirs as the film is pulled along, preparing for the next shot. You are disappointed, but there's no changing it now. You are glad you could experience it while it lasted. You stare at the leaves for a few moments longer, then stand up again. My friend trying to take a picture of the cloud puppy and going, no, it's gone by the time I can get my camera to load. All right, you put the camera away. All right, a small stream. Stream time! You circle around the lake. Small stone formations frame the shore of this still body of water. You crouch down and look at the water. At this angle, it resembles a mirror, reflecting the ravine you came from. At one side, a small stream slithers through a bed of gravel. Nearby, a calm river reaches out to the shore.
So we've already seen the stream, and we have not seen the shore.
I need to shore, but also, are we still in the forest? A salty breeze hits your face. Waves crash onto the shore, and your shoes get a little wet. You retreat a few steps and walk along the shore before you sit down in the sand, taking a break from your walk. I actually like that it shows you where you've been, but also having shown me where I've been, it feels like it's a map. Like it is one of those grid maps like we played in the Gravewood.
Yeah.
But it's one that you can't see. You just have to sort of remember.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that way. Let's see.
Take a picture. So the eclipsing moon.
The eclipsing moon reflects on the dark blue water. A few ways ahead, you can see the ocean breaking into the island, forming a river leading up to a lake. Wait, the ocean makes a river? Is the water flowing upward?
That is a really salty lake, by the way.
If it's an ocean lake, yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta say, that's really deeply uncommon, though. I don't think I've ever happens.
I don't think it's real life for a river to flow up out of the ocean onto an island.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
I'm pretty sure water flows down.
Yeah.
So, but that is not a piece of this world.
There is literally 1 or 2 cases, actually, where they've discussed most rivers basically start from the North Pole, just visually. They basically start somewhere oriented towards north, and then they flow south. Okay. There is 1 or 2 rivers, period, that actually go south and then go north. And I think, the Nile River is one of those. It's a really weird phenomenon. They're we cannot explain it. Basically, everything seems to go more or less from north to south, so top to bottom. Mm-hmm. And then this one case, because the delta, right, for where the ancient Egyptians used to live with the pyramids and everything else, that delta is literally an up because everything was flowing up. So it's one of the more unique rivers.
Interesting. I say it would also, though I don't imagine it's flowing uphill, only up latitudes.
Yeah, that way. But they're even all over the world, even whatever. It's just it's so weird. Everything has aligned like this, and it's sort of fascinating. But it's not everything. There are those few exceptions.
Sounds interesting. I actually don't know anything about that.
I just remember it because it was a thing, I think, in my geography class or something. It was wild.
Beyond the river, you can notice the entrance to a small cave. Time to cave!
Do you want to take a pic?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I also love that the moon is out while the sun is out. That's fun. And that it's doing actually an eclipse right now.
Maybe.
That's what it said.
Did it?
You just read that, you started the line
I
with the
didn't
eclipse.
read any.
No. You pointed me to the line to start on, and it said eclipse.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. A few steps into the cave, all outside light has faded. It dark in here. A faint azure glow illuminates the wall in front of you. So you step closer, carefully. Is it a glow, but it's not light? Oh, outside light. Thank you. Outside light. Got it. As you turn the corner, the source of the light reveals itself as a shimmering crystal hanging from the ceiling. The rocky walls are completely smooth in this chamber, forming a hall of mirrors reflecting the light. You could probably see yourself in there. On the opposite wall of the chamber, you see another entrance. You can see light breaking into the tunnel. Turn back or light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to go stare at the shiny wall. Like,
Me.
I don't know what kind of rock it is that makes a shiny wall, but like maybe it's perfectly smooth obsidian or something, which sounds wild.
You don't get to know what the character looks like until your narrator decides it's important.
You turn toward the reflective surface, but it scatters the light in a way that obscures details. Okay, light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to do it. Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay.
That actually was different.
The mist retreats into the woods around you, leaving this place untouched. Small motes of light circle around you, multicolored little orbs dancing through the still air. In the middle of the clearing, you see a tree resembling a large bonsai tree. Pink and purplish tufts of leaves crown the ends of a gnarly, twisted branches. Oh, I'm going to take a picture of that. A rock wall follows a side of the clearing. The rough rock has many smooth spots that reflect the light of the sun. An opening leads into the rock. In the distance, you see a strange shape atop a hill. This feels wildly like an incredibly like soft and minimalistic roleplay game.
Yes.
Where you just keep waiting for the characters to like latch on to things to see what
and you're
they
like,
want.
you're literally just nothing.
So we're going to go ahead and take a picture. You circle around the tree, deciding on an angle where the light hits from behind. I also am like, if it's eclipsing, are the shadows from the tree like little crescent shaped? Because that's so cool.
Right.
The leaves illuminate vividly, and just now you can see wind hitting the leaves that protrude above the other trees. Waves ripple across the shape of the leaves as you pull out your camera. Click, click. You exhale and notice that you've been holding your breath since coming into this clearing, not wanting to disturb the small motes lazily floating around this place. You feel calm. The wind parts the leaves for a short moment, and the light of the moon hits your face. You put the camera away. All right.
In the distance, you see a strange shape atop
a hill. Okay, this is really interesting. Like, it takes you everywhere, but it's also interesting. You approach the angular shape of a smooth umbral stone. Umber is like that really dark, like yellow, I think.
I thought umbral was actually black.
Or orangish. I don't know. Let's find out. We're going to find out what umbral is real quick.
Hang on my shoulder.
Because I know umber is a color, but I don't know what, I don't know what color it actually is.
Meaning shadow.
Oh.
Portuguese word for threshold. So umbrals derived from the Latin umbra, meaning shadow. It is also the Spanish and Portuguese word for threshold, and sometimes used as a surname in that language. So that's Wikipedia.
That's kind of great.
Yeah, shade, shadow. So it's really dark.
Umbral stone. It's just a really in the shade or shadowed. It's very dark colored.
Yes.
As you step near, it seems to grow, as if perspective was amplified. You're curious. You run your fingers over the smooth surface. It's warm, pleasantly so. Umbral depths, a slight hum, a glimmer, twinkling, warm, inviting. Watch. You think you can make out a shape. I wipe my camera. You lean closer. The source of the glow seems to emanate from the inside of this rock. See. I love how it's an action to see, not just look, but actually see. There's a level of interesting, completeness in your choices in this game or in your actions that describe everything as being autonomous rather than passive. Normally when you see things, it's passive. It just happens to you. But in this case, see is a choice, so it's something you're doing deliberately, which I think is neat. Your curiosity guides you into deeper focus. You feel vibrations below your fingertips as you stare deeper into the dark, shimmering rock. One after another, small twinkling dots appear in your peripheral vision.
My friend is yawning.
I'm sorry. It's not tiredness. It's just the air. The golden glow fascinates
The thing is, this is a very easy one to go, like I said, you just put this on play in the background and you just go, I will fall asleep now. Goodbye.
Let's see.
A warm breeze.
A warm breeze caresses your skin as the world around you goes black. The world around me has already been black, just so you know.
Just YK. Darling.
Your consciousness
Yeah.
starts to move deeper in. The twinkling dots move past you like stars in the night sky. You feel light. The sensation feels liberating. The pull seems to separate your body and your mind. We just got both of those.
Excuse me?
You feel overwhelmed, but are not sure what from. Gravity shifts. The glimmer pulls you closer, faster and faster. Your heart begins to race. As its beating reverberates throughout the void. You are scared? You close your eyes and fall.
We are new. Why would we be afraid? You've already had that logic.
I don't think we're scared. We're too new. Yeah, like too new to be scared. We're just gonna fall. The hum intensifies. The glimmer glows.
Grows.
Thank you. Small, twinkling stars fly by, speeding up until they form streaks of light, warp speed, breaking through purple, amorphous clouds. More and more lights glow, yet the space around darkens, as if the stars sucked all light away.
Yep.
The light in front of you is blinding. The bright glow changes shape in front of you. It reaches out to nearby stars, pulling on them. Other stars just vanish, as if being plucked out of the sky. They form a glyph. Oh, look at that.
A shape.
Let's see. Plucked out of the sky. They form a glyph. A shape you have not seen yet, and still it feels awfully familiar. This is cute. Honestly, I love how the music is supporting our playthrough, too. Mm-hmm. It's sort of swelling gently at the right places where things change. In the moment, your mind conceives that thought. You crash through the glyph. Your mind conceives that. It shatters on impact, separating into millions of small mirrors. You anxiously hunt for just a glimpse of yourself in all these reflective shards, but they all just cast light in between the thick, dark clouds. So, pardon me. So for me, like, this actually reminds me really strongly, the further I'm getting into it, of like an exercise that I did when I was a kid in counseling. Like, of numerous different narratives that I've encountered from like professional counselors trying to get you to either self-examine or to like, proceed, metaphorically through a literal journey, this kind of thing. And it feels very familiar in that way.
Yes.
All right. Thick, dark clouds.
Thick, dark click.
The clouds thicken more and more. Someone added flour to the soup. You slow down as they start to become viscous. In this moment, you realize it's getting hard to breathe. We've worked so hard not to be scared, but now we start to panic.
Well, we had previous panic, so...
That's true.
We have slowly built into the panic. The story gave us panic on our own without us picking panic. And now we're picking more panic.
It's true. You start to panic. Suddenly, your body starts to register in your consciousness again. You turn to face the mirror shards, and as you do, they dissolve into bubbles, rising to some light illuminating the liquid you're in. You realize you're underwater. You start to swim in the direction the light comes from, trying to regain your sense of where up is. Okay, I've heard this over and over again about people going, you can get lost in the water and not know where up is. I have never not floated in my life. I don't know who all these people are who have no buoyancy and they don't travel in any direction in water if they just hold still, but it is not me.
Cool. So one of the things is usually that comes up with divers, and the reason why they have that reaction is because typically divers wear weights. Because in order to stay down.
I know.
So the
about
thing
divers
is
and
of course,
weights.
yeah. So I'm saying, like, the thing is of course they don't know which way is down. One, they tend to basically panic, so you're not really watching things, and because you're breathing poorly, you're not being aware of what's going on. And also, again, because you're being held down, you can't usually tell what's up because you're not floating up anymore.
So I get that with divers. In the books and stories and games that I've encountered it in, it's just a girl swimming.
Okay.
It's just a regular, for the most part, human girl swimming who cannot find the top of the water.
It's a metaphor.
Okay.
It's okay. Because usually then doesn't something change after they go through this weird incident where suddenly they can't tell where the up is? Because usually when I've read stories like that, it's supposed to be like, oh no, this thing! And you're like, how did you, what? I've also had a hard time with it too, because I'm like, even though I can't see, thank you for not, me having poor vision, like, I noticed bubbles go that way.
Bubbles go up.
Bubbles go up.
Like, bubbles never don't go up. Like, you can blast bubbles out of your face, and they're not going to just go down for a while, and then descend. They go up.
Yeah.
All right. Breath escapes your mouth, and the bubbles rise in the direction you are swimming in. The light gets brighter. You break the surface of the water. Now, I've actually read several, like, kids' books. I think it even happened in a couple of Goosebumps books, where you fall in water, and because the water's dark, you can't find the up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like... And then eventually they come out of it. It just was scary and dark. And nothing changed. There's nothing mystical. It wasn't a metaphor for a portal. It's just, oh my god, I couldn't find the way out of the water. In that case,
if you can't, like, it's just completely dark, of course you can't see where the bubbles are going. It doesn't really matter. Because depending on how you're facing, you can't...
But again, if you hold still, don't you just float?
Especially for those people, yeah. Like, I mean, depending on how far you fell...
Like, I always float. Like, I have the hardest time staying down in pools. If I jump into a pool off a diving board and cannonball 5 or 6 feet under the water, I am instantly coming up whether I like it or not.
I mean, I'm not.
And I assume different people have different buoyancies, but, like...
So...
I don't know if any of them really are, like, it feels exactly the same to swim in every direction.
Yeah, I don't know.
And in that case, you'd probably be really, really good at synchronized swimming.
Probably.
Because so much of it has to do with maintaining your place in the water. You gasp for air before anything else. Your body shivering in the cold water.
I like botter more.
You're botter. You're an otter.
You're botter.
Calm down. We don't know what we are. We could be an otter. We could have an otter body, so be a botter. You start to regain composure and notice that your equipment is missing. We lost the camera. No. There's no use looking for it, as you seem to be in the middle of the ocean. The crescent moon shines down on you as you put up a hand against it. You're still here. There's your boat. With the last of your strength, you try to reach it. Small waves trying to pull you underwater again. You climb into your boat. Hang on, look at that. A pale moon illuminates a vacant sky. The winds carry an earthy scent. The boat below you rocks back and forth on a calm, dark ocean. That's why I didn't realize the sun was shining, because of the dark ocean. A mass of rock breaks through the waves at the edge of the horizon. A pile of photos rests on top of the other seat. So it goes back to the boat, and you've chosen that before, but there's a new choice there, which I kind of love. It makes me wonder about more parts of the game. It's a pile of papers, mostly photos. 2 leaves on a pond, a majestic tree surrounded by lights, a lemon. At the bottom of the stack, you find a note. All right, I want to react to at least one of the photos. Poink. Majestic tree surrounded by lights. You ponder. Does it stand strong because of the lights? Or are the lights there because it stands strong? You don't know.
Okay, that is actually different. I would look at all of them.
I'm going to do it now. Now I'm going to do it. 2 leaves on a pond. They are quite a distance apart. But will they ever meet? You hope so. Who took this picture? You have no recollection of it. A lemon. A lemon. You smile. It's the little things. At the bottom of the stack, you find a note. It's the end.
It might not actually be so.
No, but like that, it's got the credits anyway. Monoliths, a Shudder Stroll fiction by Janik Boyson.
At Janik Boyson.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
You put the note away and pick up the oars.
Ah.
I think it is.
It might be. So this was like the start of a loop and then into the loop.
I was going to say, I think the story goes in a circle, but there are going to be some changes throughout it. But again, it felt like this very specifically thinking process journey to me.
Yes.
Like it felt very much, and having come to that sort of circular end, feels extremely like exercises that I've seen counselors do before. Like, does it feel familiar to you in that way?
I've never done a lot with it, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I've heard about people talking about circular activities because what you're trying to do is you're trying to wind people down basically into their own subconsciousness. Okay. So, like, again, you're sort of, because so you have to walk around basically everybody's barriers, walk slowly around, and then you slowly get deeper, and then you slowly get deeper as you keep walking around. Hello, airplane.
Hello. Oh,
airplane.
It's also a little bit like the labyrinth.
Yes.
So there is a pattern structure, activity. There's a thing called a labyrinth, and it's not a maze.
Yeah, it's a mind labyrinth. Yeah.
A maze has turns and is a puzzle to be solved.
Yes.
A traditional labyrinth is a path to follow.
Yes.
That is only one directional. It's a unidirectional path that goes to a center. There are no offshoots. There are no anything. A lot of them are really pretty patterns. Some of them are made in like Celtic knot patterns or something like that. Some of them are made in like
they are meant to actually be meditative.
Spirals. Some of them are boxy. Some of them are shaped like flowers. But they're meant to be a meditative walking process.
Yes.
And you get to the center and you turn around and you go back.
Yeah, that's why it's always like, it's really funny that actually mostly in Hollywood, based on what I remember over the years, they've really only focused on mazes, which is strange because most people had labyrinths. Mm-hmm. They had the never-ending, basically walking patterns that people spend a lot of time and hours and energy on. Basically, like, even like little kids would make their own, like, basically stepping stone labyrinths where you sort of walk across a series of rocks that you and your friend have spent basically the whole summer making, and then you make yourself this whole pattern and then you follow it in a very specific way because that's what you made. Like, that is a thing culturally that people have done. Now, I don't know, honestly, if it's been a thing that they've done in, like, China or in other Asiatic countries, like Japan or whatnot, but, like, it is a thing, at least in Europe, that they've done over the years, so I've just really found it to be really funny, where people just didn't, like, they've chosen to basically focus on the mazes, and the mazes were always really seen as, it's like a party thing that you do, but it wasn't, like...
Like, labyrinths are a very personal experience.
Yeah.
And mazes are an activity.
Yeah.
In that way. But, like, I'm just going to go a little bit further into this game before we wrap it up. But that was really interesting.
I mean, we are out of time, friends. So
I just wanted to see if it was the same so people would have an idea of it if they played it themselves.
Oh, no, I would let them figure that out.
Oh, okay. That's actually a really good idea. I kind of love that.
No.
So if anything else changes, such as either adding more photos or having different options or recognizing things, you can find out for yourself.
Yes, because we encourage you to go play this game. Thank you very much. We actually got it a part of the Queer Bundle from Itch for 2021, which was fantastic. And thank you very much to this creator for making it. Please feel free to go check them out at their information. I apologize, we've skipped past it. So,
we did. We can go back.
We can go back.
Like there.
So, Janik Boyson doing this. Thank you very much for creating Monoliths. This was really interesting.
It was.
I love the circularness of it. It's actually, some of these are a lot of fun. Like I said, these can be deeply meditative stories just on their own. Nothing has to really change. Sometimes they're just fun to sort of just paddle around, pick different options, and just see what's going to happen. But, if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It has been deeply helpful so far with what has happened. Any amount of interaction whatsoever actually helps correct our experience in the Google algorithm, so actually we will get recommended to people, and it can help our channel grow. You can also actually go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch and our Instagram and our Tumblr. We've got links in the description below for all of those if you'd like to go check that out. That also is a way to help us support directly. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!